morning, Principal Miss May King, Academic Director Miss Anisha Sente, teachers, students, and citizens of Westlake. I'm Yanchi from 10S.
I'm Ying from 10S and we will be your SMBs for today's assembly. For today's agenda, we will start off with the usual national anthem, school pledge, school song followed by birthday wishes, student council presidential and membership application reminder.
After that, there will be an announcement on a green school project. Next, in collaboration with the CCC department, we will have Woon Ray Ming to present about the World Wildlife Day. We will also give you information about some ongoing events. Lastly, we will wrap up the assembly with some SOP and gentle reminders. Now, let us rise for the national anthem.
Now, I'd like to invite Sean to lead us in the school pledge.
Students, please place your hands on your heart. We, the students of Westlake International School,
students of Westlake International School,
pledge ourselves before God and all mankind to the pursuit of excellence and the fulfillment of our potential through the following principles: to develop wisdom, to choose between right and wrong in all situations, to carry out responsibilities with enthusiasm, integrity, and resourcefulness, to display kindness, empathy, respect, and self-control towards our fellow man, to be determined in carrying out our aspirations and communicating them to others. Lastly, to reflect daily upon the goodness around us, that we may improve and correct ourselves.
Please remain standing for the school song.
We, the children of Westlake School, hear our nation's call to think upon all that's right and true, and be kind to the least, the small. Though we be from different places, over the hills and wavy seas, we're all here to see what makes us the best that we can be. We'll cling to your teachings ever and share the truth in love as we march on, shirking never our community we serve. Westlake School, we pledge to you to pursue excellence. From our youth to our golden years, our learning shall never cease.
Please be seated. First, we'd like to give a shout out to all those who are celebrating their birthday this week. from the 1st to the 6th of March.
We have Eunice Wong from 5W, Eva from 6W, Baoshan from 9I, Kelly from 11I, Aiden from 2W, Charlene from 8W, Larin from 1W.
So Westlake would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a very good birthday. Now I'd like to invite Chi Wei-wen from the Student Council to talk about the presidential and membership application for this year.
Good morning, teachers and school. I'm Wei-wen, and I'm here to remind you guys for the application form of presidential and membership are still ongoing until 4th of March. You can find the form at Mr. Eaton Pigeon Hall at second floor staff room. You can submit the form to Mr. Emmerich, Ms. Wani, or Mr. Eaton. The interview date will be 23rd of February to 11 March. I really encourage you guys to join Student Council. It's a good place for you to learn some valuable skills. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Wei-wen. Now, in collaboration with the CCC department, we'd like to invite Woon Ray Ming from Anthem to give a presentation about the International World Wildlife Day.
Thank you, Yanqi and Yingqing. My name is Jermaine. I would like to talk about World Wildlife Day today. World Wildlife Day is to celebrate and raise awareness of the world's wild animals and plants. The theme for World Wildlife Day is. How come? Yeah, I got the remote.
Yeah. But it didn't work just now because you click on the slide again.
Oh.
Yeah, what?
Huh?
Okay, start again. Go.
Yeah.
Press on. Okay, working, right? Okay, go.
Can. Thank you, Yanqi and Yingqing. My name is Jermaine. I would like to discuss World Wildlife Day today. What is World Wildlife Day? This day is to celebrate and raise awareness of the world's wild animals and plants. The theme for World Wildlife Day in 2022 is to recovering key species for ecosystem restoration. First, issues with wildlife. First issue is with bycatch. Whenever there's fishing, there is always bycatch. The accidental capture of non-target species such as dolphins, turtles, and seabirds. Fishing gear today are often undetectable by sight, and they're very strong. They are very efficient at catching the desired fish species, as well as anything else in its path. The caught non-target animals have then discarded overboard, dead or dying. As you can see in this turtle picture, there's a lot of plastic surrounding his body. Next issue is infrastructure. Infrastructure, although is a necessary part of the development related to a human growing population, it can also have very bad effects on the environment. For example, the road through the rainforest may cut off the migration route for endangered species. The dam may have diverted water from freshwater habitats already struggling through a drought. A spill from the oil platform may have killed organisms and left the shoreline polluted. Next issue is pollution. Plastic waste is choking our planet, polluting the air, water, and soil both people and wildlife need to survive. Because plastic can make our hospitals safer, food last longer, and packages more efficient to ship, but it has no place in nature. Every day, plastic is flowing into our natural environment at an unprecedented rate. A dump truck every minute into our oceans alone. Next is the statistics to show that extinction is still taking place today. In this graph, the ICUN Red List has estimated the number of extinctions over the last 500 years. Unfortunately, we don't know anything about all the world species over this period, so some will likely have already gone extinct without even knowing in the first place. So this is likely an underestimate. In this chart, we can see that there are estimates for different groups. It estimates that 900 species have already gone extinct since the 1500s. These estimates, which are likely to be more accurate, includes mammals, birds, amphibians, and fish species. Next is the number of species threatened with extinction. The ICUN Red List have examined 35,765 species across all groups that are threatened with extinction in 2020. This is a large underestimate of the true number because most species have not been assessed. In this chart, we can see number of species at risk in each group. Since birds, mammals, and amphibians are the most well-studied groups, their numbers are the most accurate to the true number. Next, what is the share of the known species are threatened with extinction? Since the number of species that have been evaluated for their extinction risks, the ICUN red list provide this figure for groups which at least 80% of described species have been assessed. These are shown in the chart below. Around 1/4 of the world mammals, 1 in 6 bird species, and 40% of the amphibians are at risk of extinction. Next, I want to talk about the causes. First cause is climate change. The rising global temperature and sea levels from harm biodiversity. Even longer, more intense droughts threaten crops, wildlife, and freshwater supplies. From polar bears in the Arctic to turtles off the coast of Africa, our planet diversity of life is at risk of the changing climate. According to the World Wildlife Fund, half of the plant and animal species in the richest natural areas in the world could suffer extinction by the end of the century due to climate change. Next is hunting and illegal smuggling. Run by dangerous international networks, wildlife and animal parts are trafficked much like illegal drugs and weapons. By its nature, it is impossible to obtain numbers for the value of the illegal wildlife trade. Experts estimate that it runs into billions of dollars. Some examples of illegal wildlife trade are well known, such as poaching of animals for their ivory, tigers for their skins and bones. According to the World Wildlife Crime Report, over 30,000 elephants, 100 tigers are killed every single year. Next cause is deforestation and forest degradation. Forests mostly cover 31% of the land area on our planet. They also play a very important role in preventing our climate change because they soak up the carbon dioxide that would otherwise be free in the atmosphere, and they can contribute in continuing changes in climate change. But these forests around the world are under risk and endangering these benefits. Also, 1/5 of the surface of the earth has been degraded. Efforts to preserve. The first organization that helps to preserve animals is WWF, World Wildlife Fund. They work with many agencies to promote sustainable development in almost 100 countries. They focus on their efforts on multiple levels, starting with specific wildlife habitats and local communities, then moving on to governments and global networks of non-government organizations. Next is the Nature Conservancy. They work with local communities, businesses, and individuals to protect over 125 million acres of land around the globe. Their goal is to preserve entire wildlife communities along with their rich species diversity. Next is the Wildlife Conservation Society. They help zoos and aquariums while also encouraging environmental education and habitat protection. Their efforts are focused on a select group of flagship animals like apes, big cats, elephants, whales, sharks, and more. What can we do to preserve animals? We can plant trees. They recycle oxygen, then they can return to the atmosphere for us to breathe and absorbing potential harmful gases along the way. By planting trees, we help this process and provide habitats, food, and for insects and animals. Pick up trash not only protects the environment and keeps the surroundings beautiful, they can also save wildlife. Plastic bags can easily trap birds and smaller animals, hurting or killing them. Next is adopting an animal. Protect an animal of your choice, either threatened or by endangerment in a far-off land or by abandonment nearby. Your donation goes to improving habitat research, monitoring, and ultimately saving the species from being endangered. Now I'd like to end the quote by Steve Irwin. We don't own the planet Earth. We belong to it, and we must share it with our wildlife. Thank you. Back to Yinqing and Yanji.
Thank you, Ray Ming. Now we would like to announce a few ongoing events. So we would like to invite Pei Jie and Pei Xuan from the Leo Club to make an announcement regarding hunger awareness and hunger project fundraising.
Good morning, teachers and school. I'm Pei Jie from Leo Club. Today I'm going to present about our first project of the year, hunger awareness. What is hunger? Hunger is an uncomfortable or painful physical sensation. It was caused by insufficient consumption of dietary energy. It will become chronic when the person does not have enough amount of calories on a regular basis. Data shows that 2.5% of the population in Malaysia are experiencing hunger and 690 million people go to bed with an empty stomach each night. The data also shows that the hunger level in Malaysia is moderate as it ranks 58 out of 116 countries due to calculation in 2021. This is a hunger map in 2021. Below are the countries that are suffering from the hunger. The result shows that the countries colored in blue have lesser population suffer from the hunger. However, 15 to 24.9% of the population suffer with hunger in the countries colored with orange. Lastly, the countries colored with brick red have more than 25% of the population suffer from the hunger. Overall, up to 811 million people, 1 in 10 of the global population do not get enough to eat. What causes hunger? Poverty, food shortages, war, and conflict are the common causes of hunger. Families who are suffering from poverty most likely will be suffering from hunger due to unable to afford nutritious food and lead to undernourishment. Also, across some regions, farming families are forced to skip their meals in a month before the next harvest due to food shortage. Next, war and conflict has led to mass displacement and abandoned fields. Therefore, crops cannot grow properly, which causes people unable to stay healthy. Besides, gender inequality and seasonal changes are also the causes of hunger. As majority of foods produced by women are typically the primary caregivers for children, hence gender inequality leads to higher malnutrition rate among females. Lastly, seasonal change causes hunger due to farming. People who live in rural areas rely on farming and livestock for food and income. Hence, climate change, along with food prices and availability, it causes hunger. What are the impacts of hunger? Hunger would affect both physical and mental health. For physical, hunger will lead to poor health, malnutrition, stunted growth, child mortalities. And for mental health, hunger will lead to depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. What can we do to address hunger issues? Farm projects so people can provide food for themselves in a sustainable way. This is very powerful because we would ultimately see many impoverished areas no longer reliant on aid from foreign countries and able to create their own steady supply of food. Food donations. People who can afford for meals are encouraged to donate to donate the foods to the needy, as this would be better to get the entire world to take place of self-sustainability, and people who live in impoverished areas no longer needed to skip their meals each day.
My name is Lai Pei Xuan from Leo Cup. I'm going to present about Hunger Project fundraising. The profit earned in fundraising will be donated to NGO called the Hope Branch. The Hope Branch is participating with Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur to distribute meal to the needy. The NGO is a campaign that raises funds for those who are homeless, underprivileged, and affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Their aim is to contribute 60,700 meals to homeless, OKU, blind community during MCO 3.0, especially who have lost their job and income during the pandemic. You can scan the QR code to see the details of this charity project. Do check out their Instagram for more information. We are also going to sell more goods during lunch break. This is open to students from KS3, KS4, A-level and staff. This project will start at 7 March to 17 March at cafeteria during lunch break. Pre-order are needed and there are only limited quantities. If you are interested, please check out our Google form, pre-order and information about the sales. On Monday and Thursday, we are selling chocolate brownie that costs 5 ringgit. On Monday and Tuesday and Thursday, we are selling little sport box chocolate costs 20 and canned drink costs 3. Please take note that the canned drink are not required in pre-order. Check out our poster on Instagram. Please scan the QR code for the pre-order Google form. We are also going to sell the hunger badge, cost 7 ringgit. Please also pre-order to get this limited edition. Check out our poster on Instagram. The Google form link can be found on our Instagram page or you can also scan the QR code on our poster. Please help the hunger together as a little goes a long way. Thank you.
Thank you, Paige and Patient. Now I would like to invite Junwoo and Ziqin to make an announcement regarding the Green Flag Committee.
Thank you, Yanqi and Yingqing. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ziqin, and I am the president of the Green Flag Committee.
I am Jun, and I'm the head of public relations of the Green Flag Committee.
Today, we are here to review the results from the environmental review survey that we have announced 2 weeks ago, and also discuss our further actions.
But before we begin, I would really like to thank all the participants who responded to our survey. Your opinions really do matter to us, and thank you so much.
Let's start with sharing some of the conclusions that we have gathered from the previous general survey that we have conducted.
So after the survey was completed, we have set our top 3 priority agendas, which will be the focus of our future projects. Climate change was on the top of the sheet, followed by waste and litter, as well as healthy living.
Interestingly, from the survey, we found that 61.6% of the respondents think that the local community is not doing enough to preserve the natural environment. This suggests the lacking efforts that we are doing as all part of this community.
The majority of the participants showed concerns about climate change and the severity of littering in our local society. However, many responded that they are not being aware of their energy consumption.
Surprisingly, almost 88% of the respondents still consumed a large amount of energy daily, even though most of them are aware of the consequences of it to the environment.
There were other issues that were brought up and worth mentioning as well. These include, first of all, food waste in the cafeteria, energy consumptions, and accessibility to recycling. Other issues were littering and lack of environmental awareness. We will take further actions in order to resolve these issues, and we hope you can support us in the journey.
So with all of the boring numbers out of the way, we would like to take a further step in obtaining your opinions in greater depth regarding the top priority agendas concluded from the first survey. So where can you find these surveys?
Well, first of all, you can find these posters around the school notice boards, including the ones in front of the teachers' staff rooms. So this is what the poster looks like on the notice boards, and you can use your phone to scan the QR code to complete the Google Form survey. I will wait for like 3 seconds so that you can do it right now. Also, the link to the Google Form survey can be found in your respective Google Classrooms. If they are not there, please consult with your teachers and make sure that you get the link.
Please do complete the form and survey for us. Your contribution is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for helping us make Westlake a greener place.
Back to you, Yan Qi and Ying Qing.
Thank you, Junwoo and Ziqing. Next, we have one more exciting announcement to make, which is about the teachers and staff football team playing against the under-18 team. It will be at today 5:30 p.m. Lineup are as following: Mr. Emmerich as the manager, Mr. Calvin as the captain, Mr. Joshua, Mr. Hafiz, Mr. Samuel, Mr. Ethan, Mr. Mikhail, Mr. Ian, Mr. Leroy, Mr. Asri, Mr. Dunyan, Mr. Isaac, and Mr. Lucas as the players. Remember to come support our teachers at 5:30 today. And next, we would like to make a gentle reminder about the SOPs while we are back in school. Remember to always sanitize and wash your hands often, bring extra pair of masks, wear your mask properly, maintain a social distance of 1 meter, and do not share food with others.
With the increasing number of cases, let us as students maintain harmony within our school community. We stop gossiping about our friends. Instead, we protect one another because we are in the same risk team. We fight COVID by working together. Let us continue to enjoy the classes for the week.
This marks the end of our assembly. We have entered March and make sure our stamina is high as we endure the few weeks in school. I'm Ying Qing.
I'm Yan Qi, wishing all of you a good week ahead.